In today's episode, I'm going to share with you my 6 tricks to take control of your sessions and to speed up your session workflow. So tip number 1 is pre-planning your session. What you're going to want to do is pick only a few poses. You're going to want to pre-plan out the poses that you're going to be wanting to do. Now, that's not to say every single baby will do every pose. And if the session design or workflow that you've created kind of goes sideways, that's okay. It often happens. But knowing sort of a plan of the direction that you want to go will definitely help you in your workflow. Tip number 2 is pre-planning the props, the headbands, the hats, everything, the whole color scheme that you're going to be doing. Because once you have a plan, you're able to work so much quicker. What I love to do is actually organize everything that I'm going to be using in a session. I have my blankets picked out, I have my headbands, my hats, I've got everything color coordinated so I know it will all go together. Now typically if you are getting started, you're not going to have a whole lot of props and blankets and headbands. That's actually great because you just have to figure out different ways on how you're going to use them to make them unique to you every single time. Now, tip number 3 is being flexible. These tiny little humans have opinions. They know what they like. They know how they like to be touched. They know how they like to move. Now, just because you specifically love a certain pose doesn't mean that the baby's going to go into it. So what that means is you have to be flexible, just like that baby has to be flexible. You need to make sure that you can adjust your game plan. If the baby doesn't like a certain position, maybe they've got tummy trouble and they don't like being on their belly, that you adjust your game plan according to that and kind of come up with some different poses that you know the baby will be comfortable in. Tip number 4 is listening to baby. They are going to give you so many cues when they know that they're done. A lot of those cues, you can sort of start to feel the frustration in the baby, and you can kind of take some cues from the parents that they've had enough too. Just knowing when to quit and when you've got enough pictures, that is something that you're going to have to learn over time. But cueing into that baby and listening to them, they're going to start fussing, they're going to start wiggling around, they're going to start crying when they've had enough, and they were going to get louder and louder until you listen. So tip number 5 is sending your clients a client preparation guide. And what that means is sending your clients some information on how your sessions work, how long they are, and what to expect. If your clients' expectations and what you actually offer are 2 totally different things, that's going to lead to maybe some awkward conversations and some frustration. If you're able to be super upfront with your clients on what's going to happen in your sessions and when, they know what to expect and you know what to deliver. Tip number 6 in speeding up your workflow is using an assistant. When I started using an assistant in my newborn sessions, I literally cut off an hour of my session time. Now, in the beginning, when you're not making a huge amount of money, I know that this can feel a little overwhelming and a little daunting paying someone else to come and help you. Maybe you have a friend that you could offer a trade, pictures for some assistance. There's so many different ways that you can come up with on not making this a super expensive venture. All you have to do is just think of some great friends who might be willing to do that, get in touch with them, and see if they'll come along for your newborn sessions. If you haven't already, make sure that you check out my safety video on spotters, where we deep dive into the importance of having them. I hope that you've loved this video. I love bringing you these tricks, tips, and tutorials. Make sure that you hit subscribe so you don't miss a single one. If you haven't already, make sure you download our newborn posing reference guide. You can print it out, take it with you on your sessions so you can know all the poses and what to look for them. And if you want to continue your learning journey with me, I would love to have you. Come join me for my signature class, the Newborn Essentials Masterclass, where we deep dive into posing, lighting, editing, everything that you're going to need to set up your studio to be the photographer you've always wanted to be. Thank you so much for watching today, and I cannot wait to see you in the next video. I'm actually going to be expectating. It's not even a word.
It's not.
I have the best bloopers. Refrans.
Refrans.